One of the things I like to say is that the church is where the action is. In the Marine Corps, it's all centered around an infantry battalion. We all had a sense that we were doing something bigger than just us, right? We had a sense of what our mission was, and we were all aligned. Ministry is the same way. But when you're in a job like that, there also are greater sacrifices, right? You need those brothers, to your left and right to kind of remind you of what the mission is, of why we're here, right? I've really grown in an appreciation for the wisdom that pastors just outside of the traditional circles that I would, associate with, right, have in all kinds of ways that they think really deeply about theological matters. They have called the whole category of practical theology, which is just little things like how seating and signage, all that stuff affect church, which we don't even, think about. And so, probably some of those most life-giving relationships and encouraging things for ministry here in Utah have been, somebody's just being humbled and realized, man, there are folks that have a ton of wisdom if I would just simply go and ask questions, right? And not, it's so easy to judge because, we've got all our degrees and all that stuff and think, what can they offer me? And realize there's all these pastors, right? That some of them haven't even finished Bible college, like have a lot of wisdom to offer. And what I think is so cool about the church is actually the local churches are the front lines of where God is at work in the world, right? It's local churches that he has given his artillery to use, right? It's why we do the sacraments, why we baptize in local churches and not do it in these other places, right? Because everything is, on one hand, supporting the ministry of the local church. And what is so important is to have that kingdom mindset, to realize that we're just one infantry battalion, or whatever language you're going to use, among thousands, and that we all have that same mission, right? And it's so easy for us to instead start comparing ourselves to the people to our left and right, or wanting to do better than them, which I'm guilty of that, right? You get jealous of that guy whose ministry looks really good, and you actually start almost treating them like they're the enemy in your heart because of the jealousy, because you want this or that, right? And you totally forget, wait, the enemy's out there. Like, we're actually here advancing, God's rule into the world, and yet we're totally ineffective because we're so absorbed with wondering what these other people are doing instead of supporting each other in that greater mission.
Hi, my name is David Wilson. I'm the director for Bent Tree. Why are we doing these videos? It's because we want to tell people's stories. We think as they tell their stories, they bring you into their story. And we think that if you hear their stories, maybe you'll have the courage to tell yours, or that you'll ask other people about theirs. We think this is a worthwhile ministry for you to invest in. If you'll see at the end of these videos, there'll be a link for you to see if you could donate to us. We sure could use the help. Thank you.